China's economy will overtake USA. Now, this issue has been overanalyzed by overly educated people, but the simple fact here can be illustrated in a simple story. The company that I work for manufactures devices here in USA, and the cost of the wages of the workers plus the medical and dental insurance, the cost of labor, all in all, made the end result, the products, too expensive, so that it is no longer sellable here in the United States. The average buyer can no longer afford to buy the products. So it has to find ways in order to reduce the price of the product. And so it has to move into other countries, Singapore or China. Now, in the United States, yes, on top of the wages, the company has to pay for medical dental benefits, which is like $1,500 for a family coverage, and to comply with environmental laws, which requires them to purify the water before dumping it into the river, and that's an expensive process. Now, in China, aside from the fact that the labor wages are low, the government shoulders the insurance for the workers, and that's because their medical doctors and nurses there are not paid 10 times higher than the average income earners, because they send them to school on government tuition, and they don't go to school to become rich but to help the fatherland. Here in USA, the professionals, engineers, doctors go to school to become rich, and they pay high tuition fees. Now, that's one thing. The production cost, the labor cost, drives the product too expensive that it's no longer practical to sell it if we manufacture the products in the United States. And that's the reason that everybody is moving to China. Now, another thing is, in China, the people there are still united by a common ideology of the communist, capitalist, semi-communist, whatever it is that they believe in. That's different in America now, because when America started, it has one ideology, which is a Judeo-Christian ideology, and people do things for God, country, and family, and all of that stuff. But today, that God and religion has been removed and kicked out of the American system, there is nothing that holds the American people together, so everyone in America wants to take care of himself only. The rich wants to invest his money outside of USA. The working class wanted to grab more money by milking out their companies, not thinking about what's good for the company. Labor unions would fight for anything, wouldn't give up for wouldn't shoulder for any cost of the insurance. And that's what brought down the company that I work for. That's what brought it down, because the union wouldn't pay anything for the insurance. The employer couldn't afford anymore to pay for the medical insurance, and so they decided to close it down. Now, this trend continues. America is doomed. The solution that they have is to stimulate the economy by filling in the gap with borrowings for future incomes. They issued government bonds to guarantee this loan, and who buy the bonds? China. So by 2016, these bonds that are issued by USA will mature, and China will get back the money with interest starting 2016. So now that will be a problem. If USA won't be able to earn the future income that it projected, then the more it will sink deeper into its debts to China. And this is already predicted. Even Great Britain and France refused to buy the bonds because they know that it would be difficult for the USA to cope up with the amount of the bond. But China took a gamble, but China didn't use its own money. It also used the money of its other business partners, which are like from the Middle East. So how this thing will play? Well, experts have their own analysis, but it doesn't look good for the common man who works in the fields.